Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening, or good night. This is Jen at JensArtyInclinations, a place to create, share, and play.
Hello, it's Junk Journal January time, which is hosted by Meg's Journals, and here are all the prompts, with today's prompt being overlap. All right, so not quite sure where my brain was going, but I was really struggling to work out what to do. I ended up doing overlapping envelopes to do the classic envelope flip. So I had some different envelopes and I just grabbed some scrapbooking paper that I had to cover the envelopes so that they all look like they're in the same theme. And I'm just sticking that on the front and on the back. So it was labour intensive because I covered each envelope. And when you do the underneath, like the bit where the envelope opens that I'm doing now, just pop a piece of paper or like what I've got here, a baking sheet. And then when you stick your glued piece down, it just means that you don't risk, closing your envelope with glue. So there you are. That's the first one, the little one on the front. All done front and back. Next one is just this piece. I quite like it actually. I had made it, I'd used inks and so forth, all these blue inks on the envelope. So that just gives it a nice little edge around the scrapbooking paper that I'm doing. Now here, see, I'm gluing the line of the envelope. And then because I've cut my scrapbooking paper a little bit higher than the envelope, so I'm only doing the edges of the piece that I'm sticking on. So you'll see that in just a moment when I turn it over. So that way it means that the envelope is going to stick to it right to the edge of where the envelope finishes so that it won't catch when you pop things inside of it. So again, baking paper just to let the glue splodge out and so that I don't close my envelope. Now the funny thing is, I'm taking all this time to stick everything down, and what I meant to do was to stick the envelope flaps underneath the scrapbooking paper so that would all be hidden underneath, and I completely forgot to do that. But that's all right. It still worked out in the end. It's still, so see, I meant that big triangle bit to stick under that piece. But what I did was I just cut them down a little bit and I used some washi tape to make a bit of a feature of it. So it all worked out. So here you are, I'm sticking the envelope flaps underneath the previous one. So that's the structure that I'm going to do. So that one will flip up and then the next one will flip out. So its envelope flap is under the one underneath. And then when I close that again, I'll flip the next envelope and it will flip to reveal that. So the triangle blue on the left there, I'm going to cut that down so that we still get that look, and then the final piece on the bottom. So now I'm just playing about working out that if I slice them down, see, now they'll just be smaller flaps that will sit underneath, and then that won't intrude so much on the envelope below. So I'm much, much happier with that. I was thinking of going down from the top, but I thought, no, I'll go out from the side because I like it flipping one way, then the other way, then the other way, and then the final one flips up. So it goes up, side, 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 if that makes sense. All right, gluing the first flap. So that's the flap from the envelope above, and it's going underneath on this big one on the bottom. So see now how it's stuck together, but you can still put something in the envelope. Those of you who have done these before, just, jump ahead. You'll understand the process. If you haven't seen it before, it just shows you a bit of the process on how you do an envelope flip. So that flap's gone under the envelope beneath, and then the final little envelope flap goes underneath the top one. And folding it over, and voila! The flip-flap envelope structure is now all put together. So now we can play about, work out how we'll stick it to our page, and I figured that it would be really cute if the envelope overlapped this lovely lined piece of paper so that then you had a journaling spot underneath the whole structure. So I'm just gluing on this lined sheet, and then I'll be able to glue all over that surface because that's what will stick it to the page. So I'm using, you'll notice, a combination of glue stick, and the glue that's in the little bottle is just art glitter glue. So I'm using a combination so that the pieces laminate to the whole surface with the glue stick, and then the art glitter glue just helps hold them in. Now, here is some tags that I prepared earlier. That's just a little blank card that I added a couple of stamps to, or a few little stamps to, and it sits nicely in the little one. And then in the next one, I had these lovely big check tags like that. So the bottom bit I tore off and I stapled to a sheet of paper because I can imagine that you'd give that to the customer and they'd take it away with them, or it might go in the files. Anyway, that was where my brain was going. It often makes up stories. I don't know if yours does, but often make up stories about the papers that we use. There's the top of the check tag, and it was a perfect fit for that next envelope. And the final envelope, it was, I believe this might have been one of the free printables over at the Playing with Paper and Glue Facebook group that Kerry and Rene at Witchcraft Do You Do did for us. I think it was on the bottom of one of the free printables. Anyway, that was another little sheet that was perfect for the largest envelope on the bottom. So just as the final touch, all I'm doing is I'm decorating each of the envelopes, and I just used labels and washi tapes. So I used a bit of washi tapes to help disguise the envelope flaps that I put over. And on the final one, I just added some nice bold stamping with those as well. So here you are. Here they all are. The first little one with the basic little tag in it. And I love how the labels look. I don't know, I really like this kind of look with the vintage documents and labels and those sorts of things. You can imagine it being in a really old warehouse somewhere that somebody's just built for purpose. And there's the final little envelope with the writing space underneath. So it's really fun flipping them all. And flipping them all is exactly what I'm doing right now. So you can just do them one at a time, or I like how this one, you can actually flip it all the way out and they're all still joined in one big long piece. You know, it's all a bit of fun. So anyway, take care. Hope you're all enjoying Meg's Junk Journal January as much as I am, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy.